Coming up, heat wave. People across the country are feeling the heat this week as temperatures soar. What you need to know to keep cool and be safe. Also, what's on your mind?
How do vocal cords help you talk?
We'll answer that question and more. Plus, Po the Panda is back.
I'm Po. That's about all I got right now.
Jack Black and the gang will be here to talk about the new Kung Fu Panda series streaming on Netflix.
The Dragon Master is here! Oh!
And camera ready.
Emmanuel, leave it alone. Emmanuel, don't do it!
Videos of this emu have gone viral. We'll introduce you to this bird who is stealing the spotlight.
Why do you gotta be such a menace, dude?
This is NBC Nightly News, Kids Edition.
Welcome back to Nightly News Kids Edition. It's great to be with you guys. Hope you're all enjoying the summer. We've got a terrific lineup ahead, including these inspiring kids who are raising money to help these huskies in need. But first, we began with one of the stories making news this week, and that's the heat wave stretching from coast to coast. There's a good chance wherever you are right now in the U.S., you're feeling some major heat. This week, more than half of the country is seeing temperatures over 90 degrees. Many of them are setting records. Millions of Americans are struggling to stay cool and safe with weather that could potentially be very harmful. And even zoos, both here in the United States and overseas, are doing what they can to keep the animals cool through all this, turning to water, ice, and cool treats like popsicles to help lower body temperatures. For more on the heat wave, we're joined by our pal, Dr. John Torres. And Dr. John, I know we've talked about this in the program before, but what can kids and grown-ups do to stay cool during this extreme heat we're experiencing?
Lester, it is hot out there, which means it can also be dangerous. You want to be extremely careful. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't go outside and play, but you just need to go outside and play when it's cooler. So try not to go between 10 and 4 because that's the hottest part of the day. If you do go out during that time period, only go out for short periods of time. Try to play in the shade as much as you can and make sure you keep hydrated. Drink lots of water. But the other key is to keep an eye on everyone around you. If anyone starts to look like they're getting sick, they're having a hard time breathing, they simply can't do the things they normally do, or they're not making sense, they're not talking to you like they normally do, get some help. Get them into a cooler area, get them into air conditioning, take care of them, but make sure you take care of yourself as well.
Yeah, really good advice. Let's switch gears now and talk about the coronavirus if we can. New cases are beginning to rise again across the country. What should we know about this variant?
And Lester, this virus is being as tricky as ever, and it's coming back with this new variant that a lot of people are getting, even though they might have gotten sick before or they might have gotten the vaccine. But luckily, the vaccine protects you from getting seriously ill, so that's important. So number one, you want to make sure you and your family members are all vaccinated, especially if you're traveling anywhere. That's important to do. But also the things we've been doing for the past 2.5 years. Make sure you wear your mask, especially if you're indoors or if you're outside in crowded situations. You want to keep this on. You want to social distance as much as possible. And of course, the hand washing we always talk about. The same things we do, you just want to make sure you do that again and keep doing that until this virus goes away.
Can't let our guard down, certainly. All right, let's turn now to our latest viewer questions. The first one is a pretty interesting one.
Hi, Nightly News Kids Edition. I'm Alawa. I'm Isla. I'm Elisa. And Ayana. And we are in Arches National Park. And we have a question for you. We have a new cat, and it's his first time out with someone like us. So we are around the ride. Can cats get mosquito bites? Bye! We love Nightly News Kids Edition.
Thanks, guys. What a gorgeous backdrop that is. Really interesting question about cats and getting bug bites.
Yeah, Arches is beautiful, so if you get a chance to go there, definitely. But when you think about cats, when you think about Sammy the Sloth, my pet here, you have to think about mosquitoes as well because they bite them just like they bite us. But the issue is they can get diseases, different ones than we get. Cats can get heartworm, so you want to be careful with that. They can also get something called West Nile virus. But the bottom line is you want to protect your cats as much as possible from getting bit by mosquitoes. So what does that mean? Well, much like we protect ourselves, you don't want to go out early in the day when the sun's coming up or later in the evening as the sun's going down because that's when mosquitoes are most active. That's when they're looking for food, and so they could bite you more then than other times of the day. On top of that, there are insect repellents you can use on cats, but you have to be very careful. You cannot use the same one you use on humans. That's dangerous for cats. And even some of the dog insect repellents can be too strong for cats. But one of the better insect repellents, a natural one for cats, believe it or not, is catnip. Scientists just found out that when cats get into catnip and chew it up and tear it up, it actually releases chemicals that mosquitoes don't like. So it's a great insect repellent. So the next time you see your cat playing with catnip, realize that they're not only having fun, but they're protecting themselves as well.
That's a really great piece of information. Our next question is about a pretty important body part.
Hi, my name is Ben Boucher, and my question is, how do vocal cords help you talk?
Ben, thanks. And Dr. John, this is one I'm going to pay close attention to since I make my living with my vocal cords.
You know, this is a great question, and this is why you and I can talk to each other, because of our vocal cords. And they work by vibrating to create sounds. Now, what sound they make depends on the air moving past those cords, which are at the bottom of our throat, and how much the muscles around them tighten the vocal cords up, making them thick or thin. Now, the thing to think about, Lester, is like a guitar. When you play your guitar,
like this one I just happen to have in my hand.
Exactly.
There you go. That's vocal cords?
Well, you know,
That
you
work?
get different notes. Yeah, exactly. You get different notes depending on the type of string you're playing, where your fingers are on the string, where they're placed, because that makes the string longer or shorter. Where our vocal cords pretty much do the same thing, but without us thinking about it. And when the air moves past there, as we breathe, we produce those sounds. Those sounds then we learn how to change into words, and that lets us speak and sometimes sing.
I learn something every day when you're here. Dr. John Torres, thanks much as always.
You bet.
All right, let's switch gears and turn to another story making headlines this week, and that's an emu named Emmanuel, who is not a big fan of phones but loves the spotlight. Let's get details now from our friend Savannah Sellers.
Emmanuel, do not do it. Emmanuel, don't do it. Emmanuel! Don't do it. I'm trying to educate people right now, okay?
Emmanuel, don't do it is a phrase that's been heard a lot this week.
Emmanuel, don't do it. Emmanuel, don't do it. Emmanuel.
Emmanuel is an emu who belongs to Taylor Blake.
So a lot of you from yesterday's video asked about Ferdinand, and this is Ferdinand. Emmanuel, leave it alone. Emmanuel, don't do it. Emmanuel. Think about it. Think about it. Make smart choices.
Formerly named Emmanuel Todd Lopez, he's been pecking his way to the top of TikTok. This video alone has over 8 million views. Let's play it for you again.
Emmanuel! Don't do it. I'm trying to educate people right now, okay?
Taylor Blake joined TikTok because she thought the world might enjoy her family's farm animals.
I grew up on the farm with all the animals, and I started realizing, I think when you grow up in this environment, you forget that not everybody lives like this. And so what is so normal to you is so absolutely mind-blowing to so many people.
Good morning, boys!
I've always kind of had a knack for speaking to my animals as if they're my friends.
There's Ellen, Rico, Homie, and Humpty. But one flightless bird keeps stealing the show.
Emmanuel, don't do it. Emmanuel, do not do it. Emmanuel? Emmanuel Todd Lopez. Emmanuel?
What is the vibe of an emu? Like, is it surprising that he has this hilarious personality?
The vibe is anxiety. You just never really know.
Taylor says Emmanuel is normally sweet, but the cause of Emmanuel's anxiety these days seems to be mostly cell phones.
Emmanuel, don't do it. Emmanuel, you know what? Do it.
But it's those iPhone videos and Taylor's endless exasperation that have given this emu a worldwide audience.
How did that make you feel?
When I was filming, I was so annoyed. I'm like, Emmanuel, seriously, now is not the time. This isn't about you right now. Well, boy, was I wrong, because it's actually it's not about me at all.
Emmanuel.
This has always been about Emmanuel. This is his world, and we're all just living in it.
Did you know an emu is the second largest bird in the world? Experts say emus are known to be fast runners and are the only birds with calf muscles. Emmanuel has been part of Taylor's family for a while.
We've had him since he was a wee little tot. He's about 7 years old. He stands right at about 5'8", and he weighs approximately 125 pounds. Sometimes he gets sassy and he kind of straightens his neck, and then he's closer to like 5'10", which is a little intimidating because that's my height. But all in all, he's a great guy.
So what's next for this famous fowl? Maybe an appearance in an NBC studio? We asked for an exclusive.
Emmanuel, this is huge, dude. We've got to talk. Listen. Hey, listen to me. NBC just called. NBC News? No, I'm not kidding. They want to give you your very own show. And they want to know when you can fly to New York. I didn't even think about that. He can't fly. He's a flightless bird. We should have thought this through.
How cool is it to get to share your family's farm and these animals that, despite all the jokes, you obviously love and care so much about?
I think that this is exactly what everybody needed, including me. I've always, just wanted to create content that genuinely brought joy to people, and I feel like I'm doing that.
Despite the fame, this big bird also appears to have a big heart.
Can I have a hug? Can I have a little hug? Thank you, buddy.
Time for some entertainment news. Guess what? Po the panda is back for an action-packed adventure with a new companion.
My name is Luthera of Landreth, the Wandering Blade, daughter of the Saxon god, Knight of England.
Kung Fu Panda, the Dragon Knight, is the newest addition to the Kung Fu Panda franchise. It's now streaming on Netflix. Our new Kids Edition correspondent Delano had a chance to catch up with the cast, including Po, voiced by actor Jack Black.
Once again, here tell of Po. It's the Dragon Master. Skadoosh!
Thank you for being on this interview with me.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome.
Jack Black, what were you like as a kid?
When I was a kid, video games were just being invented. I was there for the very first video game. I played Pong, and I loved it. I loved music. I loved acting. I loved riding my bicycle. I had a BMX bike.
Woo!
And I
Don't
was a
hurt
real
him.
class clown. I like to make people laugh. From the very beginning, that was kind of who I was. And I like to have attentions. I like people to look at me.
I have a question for you, Miss Aura. What is it about your character that you like?
My name is Luthera of Landreth, the Wandering Blade, daughter of the Saxon god, Knight of England.
I like how she's super strong. She's really, really proud of kind of the strength that she's built. She's a great fighter, and I do think underneath it all, once Po really kind of cracks her character, she's a gentle soul, and she's not used to having such good friends around her.
I'd rather slice your guts out, use them to string a violin, and play it at your funeral.
Okay, little harsh.
In this show, you discover the friendship blossom, and it turns into a really cool power duo. And, I think that's what makes it so special, that you can have these friends that you kind of don't expect, and they turn around to end up being really important to you.
And you?
I'm Po. And that's about all I got right now. Title pending, so.
I have a question for you, Mr. Ping.
Yes.
Mr. Hong, I mean.
Mr. Ping is fine.
What was the most challenging part of playing your character?
Everyone's talking. Oh, things are crazy. The news.
Well, I think for the character, it's really how to bring Po in line, Can you imagine me as James Hong trying to bring Jack Black into so-called the track? That's how I play the role. It's impossible. Jack is what he is, and Po is what he is. Even though I brought Po back from that little radish in the box, remember? Remember how I, no, maybe you were too young. Yeah, right. It's way before your time, I guess. How old are you?
I'm 8.
8? Oh, yeah, it's before your time then. Anyway, Mr. Ping just loved Po because he brought him up. He adopted that child from the alley and fed him, bathed him. How can you not, right? Love somebody that much? Because he is the father, and he feeds him a lot of noodles, which is his favorite. So what do you like to eat as a child?
My favorite food is spaghetti meatballs, bro.
Oh, yeah. Agreed.
The Emperor has taken away your title of Dragon Master.
I love to do Mr. Ping because it's so much fun. I can hardly wait to get into that studio and say, Paul, hurry up, Paul, eat your noodles. Oh, Paul, don't do Kung Fu. It's no good for you. Get the card and start selling. Can you do Mr. Ping for me? Yeah. Try.
Oh, Paul, eat your noodles.
Very good. You're going to take my place. Would you like to do Mr. Ping?
Maybe one day.
Yeah, maybe one day.
That would have to be a prequel. He'd be the young Mr. Ping.
Hello.
The Dragon Master is here!
What should kids my age take away from this series?
One of the cool messages of the series is that all the different cultures of the world have to work together in harmony to save the world. It's kind of a cool message, and it's kind of true.
You know, I have to agree with Jack. I think it's definitely so important to show that sense of unity, no matter where you're from or what your background is. To feel accepted and wanted is a message to the world's everywhere, and even kids and even adults. It's beautiful to see a show like Kung Fu, which is so famous, and still really touch real subjects. So it's cool.
In this series, you'll see your hero, Paul, travel with this Blade girl who was knocking him for a loop, but they've somehow come together, and that's the way it should be in the world. If you have different thoughts and different wants and different desires, you've got to come together and compromise. That's the message.
Whoa, this sounds insanely cool. I'm in.
She's got the gauntlet!
Wow, that took a hard left.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Do you want to hear a joke?
Yeah, tell him, please,
Yeah.
please.
Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7 ain't 9.
Yes. Why is 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Good one. Thank you. Great interview.
I'm Poe. And that's about all I got right now.
All right, Delano, thanks very much. Love the joke, by the way, and it's great having you as a part of Kids Edition and part of the NBC family, like your pop, Craig Melvin. I'm sure he is very proud. Finally, in our Inspiring Kids series, some kids in Virginia are helping some four-legged friends get the help they need. Here's our good friend, Kristen Dahlgren, with that.
There's nothing quite like lemonade on a hot summer day.
And we are doing a lemonade stand on Sunday at 9:30 a.m.
Siblings Lennon, Lily, and Logan Smith have been serving up the sweet drink for a great cause.
I wanted to help the Huskies just because I wanted them to feel better and to not be sick or to not feel bad anymore.
Earlier this month, a local animal shelter in Norfolk, Virginia rescued 4 huskies who were badly mistreated. The Norfolk SPCA said it would cost about $6,000 to help treat each of the huskies. As a family of dog lovers, the Smiths knew they had to help out.
I wanted to really help the Huskies because I don't like Huskies being mistreated too.
The siblings decided to start raising money by selling their favorite summer drink, lemonade.
We passed out a lot of flyers for the whole entire neighborhood. Yes.
They raised almost $1,700 for the Huskies, something their parents are very proud of.
We're very proud. I mean, seeing them in the 100-degree heat, running the streets to pass out these flyers were, amazing.
The siblings proving a small act of kindness can go a long way to help these four-legged friends.
You never know what a little act of kindness, like how far that can actually go. Our number one rule in our home is be kind. That's what we try to carry through in what we do.
All right, Kristen, thanks very much. That's going to do it for us. Parents, just a reminder, if your child has a question about any topic in the news, email a video to us at nightlynewskids@nbcuni.com, and we'll try to answer them in an upcoming episode. And you can also follow us on Instagram @NightlyKids. Thanks for watching, everyone, and remember, take care of yourself and each other. So long.